Well, as I said, I was going to try and document this process as much as possible with pictures and video. So we're going to install a joint, a CV joint shaft seal inside the housing. A little bit of white lube on the housing and on the seal. These seals are courtesy MSP seals. Saved me about $150 in seals and O-rings as opposed to buying them from Porsche. So we're going to use an old bearing race to pound this in. Oops. Making sure we're on center, of course. And I did that backwards, so we're going to knock it out a little bit. There we go. Preferably we don't want to do that. Knock in the other side. And we can feel that it's sealed. I'm going to use an old race here. And we're going to knock it in just after the lip. Like so. And we inspect the inside to make sure that we haven't gone past. If we have, just pound it back a little bit. Like so. Just looking for a solid metallic sound to make sure the seal's in the right place. And there we have it. Done. Okay, now we're going to replace the front seal. And again, MSP Seals has graciously provided their services, providing us with a huge savings over Porsche. And in many cases, especially on things like the O-rings, superior product, Viton, a little bit more money from them, but significantly cheaper than Porsche by, let's say, $25 versus $6 for a superior product. So first we got to pound this guy out. And drop that in there. Put our race in. Not quite. And close. Okay, so now we're going to put some more white lube. Get it on the lip there. Get the new seal. Put it in place. Carefully going around the edges to make sure it's square. Check the back side for fit. Looks pretty good. Not going past the recess. It's always a good thing. And there we have it. One front seal. So these little needle bearings are no longer, needle cages are no longer available. So we have checked the dimensions as best as we can and made sure that they were within tolerance between one another. That's what we really had to care about. So we crossed 8 of them and found 4 that were basically within the same measurements of one another. These guys go in the counter shaft on each end, as you can see. So we've installed those already. And here we go on the other side. They're also used on the main shaft, and we will be putting those in later. So that's it for those guys. We've done our inspection, looked through all of our other parts, bearing races for the needle cages on the main shaft. And we've gone through all of the cogs and associated parts for each gear. So we don't see any rounding, we don't see any grooving. That's all good. Energizers look good. We do have 3 out of 5 of our new synchros, also another energizer. still waiting on 2, which is a bummer because it was supposed to be here today, so we can't even finish the transmission, but that's the way it goes on any build, it seems. So hang on. So here we have a nice brand new from Porsche, new old stock, although they are available in stock today for 22 bucks. Needle cage, here's an old one, and as you can see, the new one is pristine without any wear marks, although these used ones are still in good shape. But we're going to replace them anyway because they're available, just like we did the Timkins on the joint shafts and on a few of the other locations. Now, currently, we are in search of, just because I want it, main carrier bearing, which is NLA Porsche. As you can see, there's a nice SKF number, 362427, which conveniently is not available in any catalog. So I have a couple of bearing companies out searching for me, and even if we have to regrind the faces of the flange, we're going to try and go for it. Because currently those holders of this bearing want 600 bucks for it, which is highway robbery. Anyway, so that's enough about bearings. So here's just a relatively quick note. Here's a counter shaft. And, whenever you take one of these guys apart, or any kind of transmission, you really want to gauge the kind of wear you've got here. So as you can see, this is the main wear area for this first gear, I believe, or if I got it backwards anyway, 5th gear. And then as we work our way through, we can see, the pattern. And that's really what we're looking for, is a good pattern. We're also checking the top of the gear edge for excessive wear or chipping, and for thinning. And so if we look across these, we can see there's no chips, and things seem to be in great shape. So we're happy, same way with the rest of them. Now, we're not using this particular counter shaft. We're going to use this one because it matches the main shaft that we're using and the gears that came from there. So it's important to keep used main and counter shafts together, just because they've already worn together as mates. So that's for that. So a little bit about our ring and pinion. So here's a pinion gear. Again, we're looking for consistent wear. Particularly want to make sure we don't see any galling or pitting on these faces. This one's in good shape, and this is out of the one that we're basically stealing some parts from. This is a good pinion. And again, we're going to keep this with its own gear set so that we don't mix it up. Especially, you want to keep your ring and pinion together if they're used. So enough of that. So here's our ring assembly. Same thing, looking for good wear pattern, any kind of chipping, any kind of galling, pitting on the faces. This one's in really great shape. Even on the Spider, which is in here, everything looks really good. No issues with the Speedo disc, and we've replaced these bearings already. So this guy is basically cleaned up and ready to bolt in. Inspecting things like forks for your shifter. Pretty basic. You're looking for excessive wear along this edge and in here, of course. This side to this side is really where you're going to get shifter slop. We've got some wear in here, but it's acceptable. This one's in pretty decent shape. Same thing. So it's a fairly elementary inspection. So we're going to pre-assemble our needle cages here. And my apologies if I fall out of the camera's view. I keep forgetting that it goes backwards. So anyway, we're going to pre-grease those, slide the sleeves in, put them back in their nice little plastic baggages and in their boxes. Just have them ready to go.